Girls and boys and girls and ladies and gents, we are back. It's been a minute, but I'm gonna jump in and start talking about what we're looking at because it's gonna happen pretty quickly here. We're following this little red van into the city via my new bridge. That's our first little roundabout there, going through this kind of commuter community, and I decided to make this bridge over here because I was gonna have a lot of traffic issues. So I made this bridge going across here. I almost connected it to the ore community, and then I didn't because I figured it would just be like an expressway into the city, and we'll connect to the ore community over there. But it's got this cool like viaduct hanging off the side of the mountain over here, which where I used to live in North Carolina had something like that on the Blue Ridge Parkway. And then I might change that level crossing to be not so level. And then it just kind of connects over here. We'll turn this corner here in a second. Connects over to our brand new area, our stadium island thing that we still need to work on and finish. So we'll just follow this little red guy into the city. He's delivering some goods to a commercial building. Pass by our Green City's high-rise residentials over here and get going into the city where we're going to be working today. Sorry I've been kind of MIA. I've been working my real life job all summer, which is taking a toll, but it's slowing down now. Season is coming to a close, so we can get back to this. I was also just kind of intimidated by doing the downtown because that was my next thing to do, so I knew it was going to take a long time, and then I was like, you know what, I can just record it and voiceover and make it, go 3 or 4 times speed and just do a voiceover, and that would be way easier than making a really long downtown episode. So I added in this little bit of commercial here. I had some demand, so I added in that little pedestrian street from Network Extensions and added just a little bit of commercial on the side there so that these residents over here could, shop. And then I put in that little park, and I'm going to expand the park area through here. I don't want it all to be super dense. I want the cathedral to kind of be front and center, but I'm going to put in another unique, going to expand park area. And then I also had demand for residential, so I put in this little area over here. I had that street coming off the highway, and once these guys level up, it'll be really nice, and they have a killer view of the river. I don't think we're going to expand that way, so they'll always have a good view. Good for them. And oh yeah, and then I went over into our other Green Cities neighborhood, our low density, and expanded there a bit, filled in a lot more houses, filled in there on the right, filled in back here on the left. A little spread out the further back we get. Gave them a little bit of commercial to attach to, to shop with. And then I put this road going up the mountain. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But, I also put a little bit of commercial up here, just some market stalls and stuff to make it look a little more local. But yeah, I also put this road going up the mountain. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I would love to put condos or something, but Sims rather, don't like living up and far away from things. You'd have to make like a whole little town up here, but it's got a great view. So I might do like, I don't know, the observatory, or I don't know, something. Maybe put a chairlift going up there, but that's not today. Today is the downtown area, so I'm gonna get to work on expanding this little park area right here, and I'm just gonna kind of copy what I did there on the left, just kind of going with the theme of what I did around the metro stop there. And yeah, just continue putting in pathways and colorful trees, and definitely a ripoff of Overcharged Eggs Rock Garden, but we'll just do that real quick and fix this so it looks identical and symmetrical, because I can't remember exactly how I built that crisscross. And then I don't want to fill in this whole area with a bunch of buildings. I already said that, but I'll say it again. I want it to be a little open. I want it to be airy. I mean, there's going to be pockets of density. It's not, I guess it's not super realistic. I don't know. I don't play super realistic. Who am I kidding? But I think the city is more like it's not a super high density. It's not a New York City or anything, because most of the stuff we do is low, what's it called? Low residential, not high density, low density. Yeah, that's it. And I feel like it's more like a medium city, like Chattanooga or Knoxville, which I only know what those look like because I would drive through them all the time where I used to live. And so that's the only thing I have to really compare it to. It's definitely not like a Chicago or New York. It's definitely more of low residential paired with pockets of high density, but still keeping it kind of open and airy. And here I am putting in the museum, art museum of modern art, maybe. It might be something totally different. I don't know all the proper names for all of the buildings, but I like how this one looks with the cathedral because it doesn't take away from the height of it, but it is angular and pointy, just like the cathedral. And I'm gonna struggle here putting in fences because halfway through I decided I wanted to put pathways going around the building itself, and so I have to delete and redo my fences. Always do pathways first, children. Or, self. Not so much you. You guys probably do it perfectly. Anyway, I just want to keep this area more park-like. So, lots of pathways, lots of trees. Make it a nice space for people to come and walk around, really walkable. And visit. And, I mean, it's just a good idea in City Skylines to put pathways everywhere because people will use them. I just love looking at the little people walking on paths that you just put down. And yeah, I'm gonna shut up for a minute because it's just more trees and pathways and stuff. I'm gonna do the same thing around the cathedral, and I'll start talking again when there's something more interesting going on. Alright, and moving on to over here, I'm looking at the sound overlay to see where I want to put residential, probably over on the right, and then put in more commercial. But I also wanted to put in the last big building of the college or University of Technology? I don't know. I don't remember. Liberal arts? I don't remember what university I'm using. So I don't really know where I want to put it yet. Oh yes I do. I wanted to put it right here. So I saved this building for the downtown specifically because it doesn't have the same red roof that the rest of the university buildings had. So I wanted to put it somewhere kind of prominent, and it's also really good because university buildings can be walked to. You can just put pathways up to them. So it's nice to put right here on this cross section of the main roads because you don't need another street intersecting anywhere. You can just do the pathways up to it. So it's nice. I mean, of course, people will still, if they need to go there and they need to drive, they will still drive and they'll stop their car somewhere. But hopefully they would just be using some sort of public transportation, because we've got a little bit of it around here, I guess. Like right across the way is the main pathway that where all those people are walking from the train, the metro, and the monorail right there. So I would hope that people would use this walkway as they are using it to cross over the other way down to the south right now, to come to the university as well. And man, I really hope they implement the prop line tool in the new, whenever they come out with a new City Skylines, because it's just like the best time saver. And it's just a great way to fill space there. And now I'm noticing a traffic problem that I'm going to ignore, and I'm going to attempt to fix, sort of. But then I'm just going to continue ignoring it because it's a lot bigger than I can handle right now. So I'm just going to go back to doing this. And, well, I think I'm going to go back to doing this. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah. All right. So then I decided I wanted to put a couple more university buildings over here. I originally wanted this to be where I put like a hospital complex, but I already have their hospital or clinic over in the residential area just down to the bottom of this. And this, again, like, this isn't a good road to put streets connecting out onto because it's already so crowded, even without my horrendous traffic problems. So I decided to continue putting some more university. I put a study hall over on that side, and this is a cafeteria. And I thought it was just kind of nice to keep it open and make it more park-like. Excuse my dog's jingling tags in the background. Just nice to keep it open, and it's kind of in the catty corner quadrant from the cathedral. So like that has an open park area, and then this one also has an open park area. And here I'm gonna try to put the hospital in as I had originally intended. I was just kind of considering it still, but you know, I just figured it's not really any good road connection to get straight out of there, and I didn't want to put another direct road connection out to the main road. So I decided to move it, and I actually found this spot right in here where the monorail curves around, because you'll see in a minute I will continue this road that it's on to flesh out the road network, and it just makes this kind of perfect little corner for a bigger building like that. Like it would look awkward if you were to zone buildings in there because it's just like a weird curving corner, but it's nice for a bigger kind of prominent building. So here I'm going to work on more of the skyline, and so I keep going down level with the camera to see what the skyline is looking like, because I really want to and then I noticed a power problem in the background, which was actually just my budget. I really need to work on a power plant. I also need to work on a water plant. Anyway, back to the skyline. So I'm just using a couple of bigger ones because I really want the prominence to be over on the cathedral. But I felt like it wasn't enough of a skyline as it was. So I wanted to put a couple of bigger things over here to make, because this is really more gonna be where most of the commercial is. And this building, the high interest tower, I don't really like it very much. It's just so big and huge, but I figured if you were in one of those offices and you had a great view out to the water, it would be super fantastic. So I put it there, and I was like, oh, I'll try to work with it and I'll see what I can do. And I come up with something that I actually really, really ended up liking. So we'll see that in a few minutes. Which is, actually right here. The arch, which I never really, I used it once before in a snow city I made, and I actually really liked it because it overlooked the river and kind of my old town. But like this, it really breaks up this side of the building, because again, over here, right next to the highway, you're not going to have a lot of zoned buildings, so you couldn't really like encircle the high interest tower. Like I liked where it was as far as the skyline went, but you couldn't really encircle it in a bunch of other smaller buildings and make it blend in. So I'll decorate it out more in a little bit, the arch, to make it more of like a park, and it makes just kind of like this nice water view park area, and I really like how it turned out. And then the Colossal Order offices were kind of the last big building that I put in there, and I just needed one more kind of big chunky building that was between the height of the transport tower and the other one to make it kind of rounded out skyline. And then the rest of it I'm really just gonna fill in with commercial. But first I do this little trick, and I don't remember who I learned this from, but to first intersperse some office zoning, and you can even do like an office and residential mix zone like this, but intersperse some office zoning to just kind of variegate the buildings that grow in, because if you just do like a bulk zone of all high density commercial, then you're going to get a lot of repeat buildings. So I like to do that, to put in a couple of offices to make it just, yeah, very variegate, whatever. It just makes it a little less repeaty. So we're gonna let that grow in, and now I'm looking at my sound again because I want to put some residential over here. Just making sure that those college buildings don't make any sound, which it would be silly if they did, but I don't know, toga parties or something. And I was like, oh, I can continue this path out and make it nice and big, and then I remembered that residential buildings can't just go on pathways like college buildings can. So then I shortened that up, but I did still make it connect over yonder. And I'll do a little bit of a road network for a small residential area that's just going to be, again, just zoned. I was trying to match the angle of that other road there, and I didn't quite get it right, and it kind of bugs me, but I'm not going to go back and change it now. I might go back and change it. But yeah, this road's not quite 90 degrees with the road it's coming off of, and it's not great. I don't know. I'll probably redo it at some point. I mass zone right here, and I don't like how it turns out. I mean, it turns out okay, especially I put in a park or two, but especially on the left side on that main road over there, I don't know why I zoned over there. I usually don't zone on main roads like that, and once it fills in, it just really looks like, for right now we're not going to be able to see it, but it really just looks a little too crowded once it all comes in. And I don't know, I'll take a look at it probably in between episodes and probably redo some of it. I do kind of want to get into hand placing buildings, because you can, I mean, you can choose what buildings you want to put in with whatchamacallit, the thing. Plop the Growables, that's what it's called. But then, I mean, if you watch, I would hope you would watch Imperator do their building, but they kind of layer multiple buildings over each other with Anarchy, and it just looks so good. And because it's like you can take like a lower building and then take a taller building and put it on top of it, and it looks more like a realistic big city building. I don't know. And it also gets more people in there, which with my traffic problems probably isn't the greatest, which spoiler alert, I'm gonna have a lot more traffic problems coming up, but oh well. Anyway, here I noticed that this residential area that I put in over here didn't have any access besides by road going out across the main highway, so I decided to give them walking access. And I might try to figure out how to give them driving access too by like a side road. I think I might actually continue that area, the residential area, off to the empty patch above it. And so I might have a road connection over there somewhere. So anyway, I was just kind of playing with the idea of this, looking at the arch from the highway and the green belt, filling it in, and I like it. I think it turns out pretty well, and then I decided to continue putting in the green belt because I had been lacking it. And yeah, then checking back on my little residential area, which it looks fine right now because it hasn't all grown in yet, especially along the main road there where the college buildings are. And oh shoot, then I missed a bunch of recording. I had actually started recording and then immediately hit the stop recording button again, so like I recorded like a millisecond. But I just really just put in a little bit of road network over here and some more trees and stuff, and then I hand placed these two buildings right here. Those are just, they're either office buildings or commercial buildings. I can't remember. But just plop the growables those down because they are nice looking in a pair like that. And detailing out around, I also put behind them here, I put the courthouse. So I wanted to make like a big, I didn't want to add any more tall buildings. So I think I put in the courthouse first, and then I put in the, is that the Fantastic Fountain? I don't know. And I needed a cemetery, and I decided to also put an old folks home next to the cemetery because that's just cheerful, isn't it? And I just wanted to fill out this corner. So it works for that, even though it's kind of far away from any housing. And I don't know why Propline Tool doesn't work with Prop and Tree Anarchy. It might, and I just don't. I might have like another conflicting mod. I don't know. But either way, I can hand place a couple of bushes here and make it all better. And then, yeah, here now you can see the courthouse and everything over here, because I just wanted to fill out this area. And you see I just checked the sound there to make sure that I could put a little bit more residential over here. The Colossal Order offices, which is just kind of nice that they don't make sound because I guess because they're offices. So that's nice, even though it's a unique building, they're not really offices. I wish that the unique buildings were whatever they say they are, like an office or a hotel or a whatever they say, a mall, instead of just like a tourist attraction. Because that just really generates a lot of traffic that is unnecessary. I guess it was if it was like a commercial building or something like a mall, it would generate traffic, but probably not quite as much as being a. So you can start to see my traffic problems in the background there. We're just gonna ignore it. But anyway, so just putting down some office zoning to buffer from the residents there, which I don't know if that's enough of a buffer, to be honest, because commercial high density is like super loud. But putting in some offices and buffering out those residentials, and also just making it kind of like a mixed use area. Again, what I was saying before about putting a bunch of different kinds of buildings in there to just have less repeating and to have it be more organic looking. I don't know, to make it look more realistic, because you don't have a bunch of repeating buildings in a city. See, now it's kind of filled in over here and it doesn't look all that great, but I'll fix it later. And I was running out of trash processing, so I really just need to do like a utilities episode where I make a waste complex and water and water, trash, and power. I really need to go through. And anyway, back to this. I decided to make this kind of a park in here, but then I realized that you can't do a park overlaid on a university area, so I have these two little university buildings in there that are still living. They're still there. It's like the art club and the drama club or something like that. And but then I wanted to make the rest of it a park because I had put little cafes in the time where I missed recording. I'd put a couple of cafes at the end of the walkway down there, and I was like, you know, I could really fill in the rest of this with park stuff. So yeah, so there's my little cafes down there. But I really like how many people walk along here, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to dress it up a little, make it snazzy. I need to go on the workshop and see if there's any more park assets. I don't know if people have made more, or if you're just kind of stuck with what's in the different parks. I always try to mix and match though, because like I'm using the zoo plazas and the zoo restrooms over there, but then I use the normal park stuff for basically the rest of it. I mostly just like the zoo plazas better because, and the zoo buildings in general. I just like them. They're brown. They got dirt around them. I don't know. They seem less harsh and more. The general city park stuff tends to all be like concrete all around it, and I like the zoo stuff because it's it's a little more soft looking, I guess. I don't know, it's a little more natural looking, and I prefer my parks to be natural-ish. But we're getting to the end here, just taking a look around and deciding that, yeah, I like that city, and now I'm looking at the skyline in the background, and I think it's coming across okay. I need to definitely refine, like the some areas are just too dense, like the housing area right here on the right is a little too dense. Actually, even the old residential housing area is a little too dense. I don't really like when all the buildings level up. It makes it look a little samey, I guess. And we're just gonna ignore those traffic problems that I did go through and fix. I had to put in a couple of roundabouts and stuff in the main intersections, but I got it fixed with the use of roundabouts and traffic manager, and I'm just zooming around looking at the city from all angles here because it's called Cities Skylines, and I like my skylines. So I'm just making sure that it comes across, and the new big buildings I put in are really doing good from every angle, and I'm admiring this little condo complex that I also put in up on the hill of my Green Cities area. Again, just plop the growables. I really want to do more of that. Maybe I'm going to do a whole series next of just like really detailing and hand placing every building, because it just looks so much better. But overall, I like this. I think that big empty space I left on purpose. I'm thinking maybe a zoo, but I think I might also put the zoo over on the stadium island. I'm not really sure. But I'm really just zooming around looking at all the rest, the skyline from all the rest of the areas. And I might actually move that hotel, the whatever it's called, the tourism specialty hotel building over into the city area, because it sticks out like a sore thumb over there. But maybe that's the point. Who knows? Anyway, that's about it. I'm just getting an overview here of the whole thing as it's grown, and gee, it has grown. So I'm gonna leave it there, and I will see you next time for maybe a